Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it is the 7th of June 2025, and tonight was WWE Money in the Bank. Overall, I had a great time watching Money in the Bank. Thought Money in the Bank was a really, really good show, and we also, even before that, did have WWE, did have WWE Worlds Collide, which I watched parts of. I wasn't actually able to watch most of the show. Like, I was watching it, but not really paying attention. I watched all the opening match and then the stuff with Dom. Then I watched all of the main event. I saw like the end of the North American title match and all of the main event. So I did miss some of the middle stuff, but I will talk about what I did see and what I did like on that show. So we will get into that here in a little bit, because I thought they had some really good matches and some great stuff. Just like on Money in the Bank. A really good women's ladder match, an awesome men's ladder match, an okay main event that actually was made kind of good by the R-Truth stuff, which we'll talk about here in a moment. And Lyra and Becky was amazing. That match was great. And then the Dom Aerostar match, not Aerostar, Octagon, I always get those two mixed up. Octagon match was really good as well. But the big thing we got to talk about first is R-Truth. And let me clear some stuff up, because a lot of people say, oh, the work. They worked the dirt sheet. No, they didn't. If they worked the dirt sheets, then why was R-Truth in talks with indie promoters throughout the week? Why did indie promoters reach out to Truth and say, hey, if your contract's really expiring with WWE, let's talk? And so, for like, we have Mr. The Spot, LOL, Dirt Sheets and Tim were wrong about R-Truth. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. Because things changed in the last 2 days. Last 3 days. A week ago, Truth was told, hey, your contract's not being renewed. When it expires, you are done with WWE. And so, according to Sean Ross Sapp, according to Dave Meltzer, according to Brian Alvarez, according to John Alba, and I can even pull up a tweet from John Alba here, Truth really thought he was done with WWE. I'm going to pull up this tweet from John Alba, because this is a really good, insightful tweet here about the R-Truth stuff. He's tweeted out, and this goes in with a couple tweets here from John Alba and SP3. And it's everything I was hearing and being told as well. Like, I don't have inside sources, but I speak with other people within wrestling media, and they hear things and this, that, and so forth. And so I was kind of hearing some of the same stuff from certain people as well, but this is what was being tweeted out tonight. Because the Truth stuff, oh my God, so many people. I mean, the dirt sheets were wrong. I knew he was never really gone. No, he was really gone at one point. And let me read this here. SP3 first tweeted out, the fact that some fans believe R-Truth announcing his departure, multiple wrestlers expressing their love for him, and frustration on his non-renewal was a work is hilarious. Wrestling fans, please never change. John Alba would then send out a tweet that states, he was in active conversations with appearance promoters as of several days ago. He would have made a ton of money doing indies and conventions. So, yeah, the release was real. Now, Triple H is going to try and spin it and say that it was all storyline to start, and it was all just to build to a Truth character change and maybe even a heel turn and him aligning with John Cena or something. But they can spin it that way if they want now. Triple H can play the media like he did tonight in the press conference. Triple H was asked, hey, so was it real that R-Truth was legitimately let go at one point and told he was not being renewed? And Triple H just goes, you like the show? It's all part of the show. It's because Triple H is not going to play up the fact of, yeah, we did fire him at one point, but then the fans got him back. Triple H is not going to admit that. Like, it's just plain and simple. But the fact that so many people here, the dirt sheets were wrong. Tim, you're wrong. Truth was this and Truth was that and better. No. Truth was legit told, hey, we're not going to renew. Now, I don't know what led to that by WWE and TKO. I don't know what negotiations went back and forth between the two sides and whatnot, but it seems like, and according to Mike Johnson of PWU Insider, the decision to bring Truth back was made less than 72 hours ago, within the last 72 hours. And as you see from WWE's Twitter account, they're not calling him R-Truth anymore. He is now Ron Killings. He is going to be going by the name Ron Killings, at least for the interim, at least for now, initially at the start. And it seems like it might be some sort of a character shift. Now, me saying he might join John Cena, I'm probably wrong on that because he did screw Cena tonight and hit him with the belt. Excuse me. But it was never a work from the start. It's what they call in the wrestling business a shoot work. Something that starts out as real, but then they can shift it and turn it into a work. They can take a real situation and make it storyline, part of the act. And that's what this is going to be. This is going to be a thing where maybe they do, maybe they don't say Truth was really let go and fan support brought him back. Or they're going to play it up of, hey, I was never let go. I did that to screw with you guys and see how you would react, and ha 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 ha. I'm just being like my childhood hero John Cena and turning on the fans. Because if that's what Cena does, that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know how it all going to play out. We got to wait till freaking Friday, most likely. But the whole thing is, and this is the last time I'm going to say it, Truth was legit told last weekend, just like Carlito, just like Valhalla, your contract is not being renewed. When your contract expires, just like Shotzi, who we saw show up at GCW tonight, her first match post WWE. When your contract expires, you are not being brought back. So that's all it was. That's what it was. That's what it is. And that's all we need to really talk about on that one, other than the reaction he got in the spot and this, that in the match. Now, as far as Worlds Collide does go, Worlds Collide was a fun show from what I saw. I didn't see what did I not see? So I saw, well, actually, let me pull up the card to see what I didn't see, because I can't remember the entire card off the top of my head. Let's go Worlds Collide WWE. So I didn't see the Stephanie Vickers Lola Vice Chick Tormenta Dalise match. I saw bits and pieces of, but not really saw much of Legado del Fantasma versus El Hijo Dr. Wilder Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. And then I saw the last 5 minutes or so of the North American title match. But I did see all of Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana versus LWO. And I did see all of Vikingo versus Chad Gable. And Vikingo and Chad Gable is a match that I'd go back and rewatch today. It was that good. So freaking good. The opening trios match, 6-man tag, whatever you want to call it, really, really good as well. Like, really good wrestling on this show, at least from what I saw. And so it's like, we also even saw an angle that built to Money in the Bank. So we had a rumor earlier in the week that, hey, Dom and Liv may be at Worlds Collide. They're not going to wrestle at Worlds Collide, but something may happen with them. And we did see that after Octagon, Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana did defeat the LWO, Dom got on a mic and was like, my deadbeat dad was here, blah, 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 blah. And Octagon Jr. took exception to that and was like, no, don't speak about Rey Mysterio like that. Don't speak about Rey like that. And that then led to them kind of brawling. They got into the ring and fought for a moment. Liv and Dom finally got away. And Dom's like, you know what? Screw it. You want to fight? We got another show later. You, me, Money in the Bank, and heck, I'll put my IC title on the line. And the match got made official. And the match at Money in the Bank was really freaking good. Another really good match. And I loved all the stuff WWE did here, as far as they had the Mexican national anthem, the American national anthem, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Marcella, I think that's her name, Marcella Pena. And then they had AAA wrestlers in the ring at the start as well. And it was a big tribute to both Mexican Lucha Libre, American Wrestling, AAA, WWE. They had a cool pyramid-looking stage. And so, no, overall, really good. And I thought Corey Graves being on commentary, Conan was okay. Conan gave you Conan. Like everyone's saying, Conan sounded tired. Conan sounded sick. Conan didn't sound like he was into it. No, that's just Conan. If you've ever listened to Conan, that's just Conan. And he was perfectly fine. Because Conan was just the dude on commentary. It's like when Dale Earnhardt Jr. first started doing commentary. He was just your buddy you watch a race with. And that's what Conan was. Your buddy you watch wrestling with. But Corey Graves being the one on commentary and leading play-by-play and all that, I thought was the perfect, all caps, perfect choice. You could tell he did his homework. You could tell he knows Lucha Libre. I mean, his brother worked in a top act for AAA for years. So he's got already know things about and within AAA. Probably called his brother and said, hey, Sam, I'm doing commentary. What kind of advice you want to give me about AAA and this, that, and what should I bring up? What shouldn't I bring up and stuff? But yeah, I thought Corey Graves was the perfect call as far as to lead commentary, the English commentary. Vic Joseph would have been okay. Booker wouldn't have been the lead. Michael Cole would have probably not. But Corey, again, Corey was the call, the right call. As far as that main event does go, though, oh my God, this was Chad Gable worked a Vikingo match for the most part. Like they did Chad Gable stuff, but this was a Vikingo match. Vikingo over here doing 630s off the top to the floor. Vikingo out here doing all kinds of crazy moves. Chad Gable doing a moonsault off the top third table with no Slim Jim logos onto the floor. And it looked like, and I don't know if he was just selling or not, but it really did look like Vikingo might have injured his knee or his leg, like thigh, because he tried to do a move late in the match towards the finish where he was supposed to jump up on the middle rope, but on the side, not in the turnbuckle, and then like springboard off, and he got up there and his knee kind of like just didn't work and he couldn't springboard. And you can see like Chad kind of stopped his momentum and just waited for a second. Then Vikingo positioned himself in the corner, did the move, this, that, and so forth. Not the first mess up he had. There was another spot where I don't know what Vikingo was doing, but he like jumped into the corner and Chad Gable moved. And then he kind of just wrapped himself in there and he was trying to like get out and he was stuck for regardless. Two little hiccups. One maybe because of an injury, one just a botch. But other than that, Chad Gable and Vikingo, oh my God, did they work perfectly together. Was this match great? Awesome. Like, give me Chad Gable and Vikingo again. Again. I will go rewatch that match tonight. It was that good. I thoroughly enjoyed that match. And in the end, Vikingo did win, retain the AAA Mega Championship as most predicted. But I loved how Corey kept bringing up, he was like, you know, what would it mean, Conan, if a WWE wrestler took your guys' top title? I mean, and this is like verbatim what Corey said. He goes, I mean, look at TNA. Trick Williams, a WWE wrestler, took their top title. And Conan's like, yeah, it would suck. It would suck. And then Corey's like, well, what does it mean to be mega champion? He goes, Corey, what does it mean to be WWE champion? And Corey goes, touche. Yeah, okay. I get that. And I was like, oh, there you go. There you go. I love that line from Conan. He was just like, you really going to ask that question? What does it mean to be WWE champion? And he's like, oh, okay. Got it. So really cool. Really great. And they're already selling AAA merch on WWE Shop. I mean, they got Mr. Iguana shirts up there. They already got Mr. Iguana shirts on WWE Shop. Yeah, you heard me. Let me see if I can pull them up. Where would they be? Ooh, they got a new Bigums or whatever they're called. Big ones of Seth Rollins. Where would the... Oh, here it goes. Here we go. So we've got... Let's pull this up on the screen. AAA shirts. You guys haven't seen these already. Zoom in on these a little bit. We've got shirts for Aerostar, Chick Tormenta, Laredo Kid. Let me do something here so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. Laredo Kid. We got Octagon shirts. El Hijo del Vikingo. Dalis. A Psycho Clown. Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana here. And that shirt's going quick already. We got Pagano. And then we got El Hijo del Dr. Wagner shirt, which I loved the video package before this match with Phantasma, where they just called him Dr. Wagner the Third, because that's technically what he is. Because El Hijo de means son of. So he's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., which means technically he's Dr. Wagner the Third. He's Dr. Wagner the Third. So I love that. Alberto was just like, he's Dr. Wagner the Third. But really cool that they've already got all those shirts up. And I think that Mr. Iguana shirt's going to sell out. The interest I've seen so far online on Twitter and people going, pre-ordered my Mr. Iguana shirt. Pre-ordered my Mr. Iguana shirt. Mr. Iguana shirt's on sale. Yeah. Yeah. But overall, I thought what I saw, I'll go back and rewatch the whole show probably tonight or first thing in the morning. Overall, I thought it was a really really good show. I really enjoyed what I saw of. And sorry, I'm getting a message here. I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. So really, really enjoyed the show. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you want to help us out, you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way, you know when we post new videos. That way, you know when we go live, and that way, you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, for as low as $1, you get a badge next to your name. You get emotes and emojis you can use in the chat, in the live chat, and the comments, and you get to learn things that you can potentially take and make money off of. We teach you how to make graphics. We teach you Photoshop, and eventually I'll be bringing in some After Effects tutorials as well. The $1 tier, you do get our graphics tutorials. At the $5 tier, you get our graphics tutorials and our graphics packages. Today, we did put up our WWE Battleground graphics, so you will have those. Next week, we will be putting up our AEW Double or Nothing graphics. And then the week after that, we will be putting up our Money in the Bank graphics. So a lot of cool things coming for channel members and Patreon subscribers as well at either the $1 or the $5 tier. I'm going to say right now, what other wrestling Patreon or YouTube channel is teaching you things that you can make a career out of, that you can go make money with? Not that I know of, none. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Also, the new Super season just dropped in Fortnite today. You're getting Corn Sweat as Superman. You're getting a really cool Robin and a bunch of other superhero skins in the new Battle Pass. And if you're getting that new Battle Pass, you're going to want to use this code, PWU NLIMITED, when you're getting, whether it's on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch 2, your phone, your tablet, your computer. The store's going to ask you if you have a creator code, and you do, whether that is the in-game store on Fortnite or the Epic's Game Store. Use our code, PW Unlimited. So with that, remember, guys, if you want to get your questions answered, you can either donate bits on Twitch or a super chat on YouTube. We do have esports gaming rules here with a bit donation. He does state the WrestleMania 42 Vegas announcement, aka the Double Down announcement. Everybody else call it that. That's interesting. Overshadowed the return of Ron Killings. I don't think it did. I don't think it did at all. AKA R-Truth. No wonder they're going to blame it on TKO and Triple H on everything during past weeks before Money in the Bank, Los Angeles 2025. So, a couple things here. I have seen way more people online talking about Truth is back than WrestleMania. Like, they did the WrestleMania announcement, but soon as that match started in the main event, I almost saw nobody tweeting about it. Now, I'm going to say, fucking greatest WrestleMania logo I've ever seen. I can't wait to make graphics for this one. Freaking graffiti spray paint graphics. I already got ideas in my head. Can't wait. But to say that it overshadowed the R-Truth announcement, I don't think that's true. I really don't think that's true. And here's my other thing about this. I've seen the people bitching, oh, they're going back to Las Vegas. What? What? What does it matter? Unless you're somebody going and just doesn't want to go to Vegas again, then I get it. But if you're like the majority that just watches from home, what does it matter? What does it matter what city they're in? Because the theming of the stage and the logo? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as we get a show. Like, the card we got this year could have been run in New Orleans and it would have been the exact same show. Just because they were in Vegas doesn't matter for shits. So that's my 2 cents on that. Cool, they're going back to Vegas, whatever. Elite, you're getting timed out for that fucking stupid ass comment. We don't talk about who's the worst wrestler. Like, what kind of fucking stupid ass shit is that? Who talks about who's the worst? Like, why do you gotta be negative? Why does Elite always have to be so negative? And I'm timing him out. I'm getting a timeout. Because, yeah. No. We're not going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Accept behavior like that. No. Don't ask me who the worst wrestler is. And Corey, I should ban you or time you out too for your comment. Because first off, Chelsea Green is not one of the worst wrestlers. That just tells me that you don't know what actual wrestling talent is. Because Chelsea is not one of the worst wrestlers. She is not even close. If you've seen any of her work, now in WWE, she is the female R-Truth comedy character. But if you've seen her work outside of WWE, you would not be saying she's one of the worst. Trust me. Kid Vicious, no, we did not get a Switch 2. Why would I buy a Switch 2 when the only game that came out is a new Mario Kart, and I like Speedstorm better than Mario Kart anyways, and that's free on PlayStation and everything else. Anyways. We're not going to be negative. Talk about who's a bad wrestler. Well, let me refresh my notes too. My notes for some reason froze up. There we go. Okay. So the show did kick off Money in the Bank, that is, with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vicure, Roxanne Perez, Naomi Julia, and Alexa Bliss. This match was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this match. So early on, there was a little audio hiccups a couple times with commentary, but they got that fixed pretty quickly. Bell rang and all 6 women just kind of stared at each other for a minute. They're kind of feeling things out. All right. Corey, you're getting timeout too. We're not going to talk in the chat on who's the worst wrestler, who's a bad wrestler. We're not going to be negative. Why do we need to be so negative, everybody? No, we're not going to condone that behavior. That's what I was looking for earlier. Condone. Anyways. Oh, man, I won't stop watering all of a sudden. So eventually, they all start fighting. And I think it was Naomi who was the first to really introduce a ladder in this match. Ripley used Bliss as a weapon at one point to take Naomi down. Everyone started trading big moves and whatnot. Stephanie, Julia, Perez, they kind of ran through people. They worked together-ish a little bit. Naomi then returned the favor and introduced Perez's face to a ladder. Perez then snuck up on her, though, and laid Naomi out. Perez then did a flip senton onto a ladder. Oh, my God. I would not stop watering all of a sudden. Julia returned to the ring and set up a ladder in the corner. She sent Bliss into it, but it kind of fell over and then caught her in the back. She shrugged it off as Ripley climbed back into the ring. Excuse me. Ripley drop-kicked Julia in the corner and tried to set up a ladder, but Naomi and Perez tried to stop her. Ripley dispatched them quickly, and Ripley tried to go for a razor's edge on Perez onto the ladder, but Perez managed to reverse it and hit a springboard moonsault on Ripley on the ladder. Perez was the first to actually try and climb a ladder, but was pushed off by Alexa Bliss. Julia then took out Bliss, and she and Perez raced up the ladder. Ripley then kind of stirred around for life. So Julia and Perez formed a quick alliance and sandwiched her in a ladder before hitting the ladder with another ladder and another ladder. Perez and Julia then continued their partnership by stacking about half a dozen ladders or more on Rhea on the outside. Tried to do the spot where biggest, baddest, let's just bury her down so then she's got to fight her way out. And so, while they were doing that, Naomi set up a ladder in the ring, but Vicure got the best of her and climbed it before her. Vicure hit a killer dragon screw on Naomi that looked like it wrenched her knee out of socket. She seemed fine throughout the rest, though. Where was I? Bliss and Perez then climbed a ladder, and Naomi and Vicure climbed to a second ladder next to him. Bliss bailed and powerbombed Vicure off the ladder. She then pushed over both ladders, sending everybody flying down. Julia and Perez then dropped Bliss right onto a ladder gut first. They were holding her up kind of like a press, the two of them. And then they went, whoop, and then just let go. And she, poof, right on that ladder. Oh, man, that had to have hurt. That had to have hurt. Ripley then finally got up. She threw the pile of ladders off of her. Ripley grabbed Perez and threw her into the barricade before confronting Julia in the ring. Ripley went to just go on a tear, basically, taking out Julia and Naomi before setting up a ladder on the ring ropes. Ripley threw Julia into it for good measure and set up a ladder in the ring. She then set up another one, creating a bridge between the turnbuckle and the ladder. Ripley tried to use it on Vakir, who countered and dragged her up onto the ladder for some devil's kisses. So they had like a ladder bridge there, and she's doing the devil's kiss on the ladder bridge. Very cool. But Pat had to play Booker. It don't work with anybody but Booker. Trust me. It don't work. Just like, oh my God. I hope when Trick finally comes to the main roster, and I don't watch enough TNA to know if they do this there or not, but I hope when Trick comes to the main roster, somebody else doesn't do the, yeah, man, I like it. They just leave it with Booker and NXT. I hope Pat or Wade don't try to be Booker and do that on the main roster. I don't need Pat McAfee. I like it. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It wouldn't come off the same. It wouldn't come off the same. Anyways, Vakir scrambled up a ladder and kind of got her hands on the briefcase. But Perez stopped her from winning. Much to the crowd's dismay, they really wanted to see Stephanie win. Bliss tried to sneak up the other side, but Perez met her at the top and sent her into Naomi. Vakir grabbed Perez on the ladder bridge, while Naomi set up another ladder bridge on the opposite side. Bliss, Naomi, Vakir, Perez all climbed up and started trading blows. Then there was mirroring moves here. Suddenly, Bliss and Perez both hit dueling code reds on ladder bridges, one on each side. Julia then leapt in and removed the bridge, trying to take advantage of people down. She then climbed up and tried to grab the briefcase, but again, Perez scrambled up and stopped her before the two started throwing blows. Ripley arrived and dragged Julia off the ladder. Ripley hit a riptide on Julia, and Bliss laid out Perez with his sister Abigail before the two shed a little bit of a smile and then go, oh, we got to win this match. They both climbed up. Naomi then dashed their hopes, though, by knocking over the ladder and set herself up to climb up another ladder, unhook the briefcase, and boom, there's your Miss Money in the Bank. 2025 Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi. Naomi wins, and on the press conference, but the post show, there was a great moment with Naomi and Big E. So I guess I didn't watch the pre-show. I had it on, but I really wasn't paying attention. Big E had said, I think Naomi's winning Money in the Bank. And so afterwards, Vic Joseph, who's like the main host of the post show, but it was him, why can't I think of Rosenberg and Big E. And Vic was just like, Naomi, the guy over there, Big E, he chose you to win this match. He chose you to win Money in the Bank. And he's like, Big E, got anything you want to say? He's like, I do. I've known this woman for a very long time. We started in FCW. I think he said like a week apart or a month apart or whatever. I think he said a week apart. He's like, and I've seen you grind. I saw you leave this company, go to TNA, be a world champion, come back, kill it. And Naomi at this point, she's crying. And Big E's just giving her all her flowers, which she deserves. Was it the right thing for her to do to leave with Mercedes when she did? That's debatable. Most say it's unprofessional, but it's debatable. But then Naomi went to TNA and she killed it. She didn't go the Mercedes route of, I'm better than everybody. I got an ego and I got to be pandered to. No, she went to TNA. She fucking worked her ass off in TNA and got back to WWE. And while in TNA, grew a lot of great relationships and friendships and became the Knockouts champion. Regardless, though. She starts crying, and the crowd starts chanting, you deserve it, bum, 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 bum. You deserve it, bum, 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 bum. And Naomi, she's like looking at the camera, but not wanting to look at the crowd yet. And then she kind of looks away, and she's like, she composes herself, and she goes, shut the hell up. I don't need your guys' pandering or something like that. And I love it. She's got to play up that heel. She got to play up that heel. She's like, I came back and I was trying to be the same old Naomi and it wasn't working out, so I had to change. And now I'm better than ever. It was great. If you didn't see Naomi's appearance on the post show, go watch it. For the moment between her and Big E, and then her healing it up to the crowd. It was all great. It was all great. So moving forward, there's a video package recapping the feud between WWE Champion Jey Uso and Gunther as the two will face off Monday in Phoenix with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Speaking of title matches, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line when Dominic Mysterio defended against Octagon Jr. So I didn't think that a fifth match is going to be added to the show. Also, the women's ladder match went, I have the Wikipedia here, 25 minutes. This match went just shy of 5 minutes. It was 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and it's all it needed to be. And it was a fun little quick match. You make Worlds Collide important or seem important by saying, hey, something that happened there directly correlated to the main card show, the main PLE of the day. So I liked that. They didn't, that I saw, announce anything further with AAA and WWE other than they really pushed the August Triple Mania hard. But other than that, we don't know what the next, like, whether that's going to be a WWE AAA crossover show in the United States or just they're going to keep pushing the Triple Manias. We don't know for sure. But I liked what they did with Worlds Collide. Got a bunch of guys over. There's a lot of people talking about this show. What has it done so far on YouTube, like number-wise? And we know that it's not going to be the official good number because the full number of how many people have actually watched, YouTube won't have that until like 24 to 48 hours. But if we go look really fast before we talk about the Dom match. That Worlds Collide show so far, and this is just the English-speaking version, 2.2 million views so far on YouTube. That's awesome. That is so good to see. So good to see. That's just for the English-speaking one. Let me see. Where's the WWE Espanol? So 2.2 million on the English-speaking. Let's go to the Espanol. Click live. Come on, YouTube. Another 1.2 million there. So there's 3.4. And was it on the AAA channel as well? That I'm not sure of. I don't know if they streamed it or not on. Interesting. You go to the AAA YouTube channel and the first thing they have is Scarlett Bordeaux's debut in AAA. Interesting. Did they air it live on there as well? No, they did not. But between the main WWE and the WWE Espanol channel, 3.2 million views. That's awesome. That's fantastic. But as far as this match does go, I thought it was a lot of fun. It wasn't the best of matches or anything, but these two worked really well together. It was called a quick lucha match. That's what I call it, a quick lucha match. So speed was the name of the game. Mysterio and Octagon exchanged big moves, lightning fast pace here early on. Mysterio actually was the larger of the two, which is not always the case. Yeah, Dom's not a short guy or anything, but he's usually the skinnier guy in the match, which really plays up to his I'm going to flex all the time thing. That's why he does it. It's the heel thing. Yeah, I'm not big and jacked, but I'm going to flex all the time like I am big and jacked. You know what I mean? Anyways. Where was I? Mysterio took Octagon down and sent him to the mat, and then tied Octagon's mask into the ropes. And the referee had to untie him, so Dom was kicking the shit out of him while he was tied up in the ropes. Very cool spot. Very cool heel spot. Mysterio slowed the pace down, trying to keep Octagon grounded and on his feet. But Octagon didn't buy it and took over with an arm drag corkscrew. Mysterio followed this up with some Three Amigos, but only got one before Octagon broke free. And here's the thing. Dom has only really ever worked WWE. Like, yes, Dom went and trained at a lot of different places before going to WWE. He trained in Mexico. He trained in Canada with Lance Storm. He trained in LA with Brian Kendrick and other places as well. But when you think about it, Dom's only ever worked the WWE style officially, technically, And he worked this match with Octagon like he's been to Mexico, like he's been working lucha for before he came to WWE, like Legado del Fantasma, like the LWO guys. So it's like Dom growing up around lucha, but never actually working lucha, looked like a guy that came from lucha, which was awesome to see. Dom is very versatile and the kind of performer that can work with anybody. He can adapt to just about any opponent. That's what makes Dom one of the best right now. Like, when people say Dom is great, Dom is fantastic, Dom is amazing, they're not just saying that because, oh, we're glizzing him up because he's Ray's kid. No, because Dom's put in that work since he started with WWE. Dom has, everyone says, oh, Dom should have started in NXT. He should have never came to the main roster. He only got his opportunities because his daddy. Maybe. But then he put in that work and busted his ass and got that respect. It was 2023, I want to say. It might have been 2024. Dominic Mysterio worked more. It's 23. Dominic Mysterio worked more matches than anybody in the company. He was working every single house show, working every Raw, working SmackDowns, going down, working NXT. So, no, Dom trained in Canada with Lance Storm when Lance still had his school. Dom trained in Mexico with I don't know who, but I know he went down and trained in Mexico because Ray talked about it. But there's photos online. Dom also went to Canada and did some training with Lance Storm at the Storm Academy. Anyways, where was I? Mysterio hit a modified driver, knocking Octagon for a loop and onto the ropes. Octagon ducked a 619 attempt and hit a swinging neck breaker before heading up top. Liv provided a little bit of distraction here. Mysterio hit a 619 and a frog splash to pick up the victory. So there we go. Dominic Mysterio picks up the win, and Octagon gets to shine on the biggest stage there is, WWE's main roster on a PLE. Great for Octagon. A lot of people putting in the work today. We had Stephanie Vicure working double matches today. We had Octagon working 2 matches today. And we had, well, Chad Gable worked 1 match and El Grande Americano worked the other match. Just saying. Anyways, good match. I thought it was loads of fun. I thought it was a perfect 5-minute match for what it needed to be. Backstage, they give us a earlier today this happened kind of video. It's Chad Gable and the Creeds. And Chad Gable's like, man, kind of beat up from that match earlier today. I didn't win, but we need to try and kind of do something to help assure our boy El Grande Americano picks up the win in Money in the Bank. And I got just the thing. And he points to this big, huge ass ladder sponsored by Fireball. Yes, ladder got sponsorship on it. And Chad's like, hey, before the show starts, I want you two to go take this ladder and hide it under the ring, but in a spot that's not going to be hard for El Grande to find. Let him know. And then, hey, he can use it to his advantage. So, they did have a special ladder sponsored by Fireball. Fireball also sponsored the match as a whole itself, but they also sponsored the press conference. Moving forward, we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. This match itself went 15 minutes, and oh my God, was this good. This match was awesome. I thought these two, we already know that Becky and Lyra work very well together, but this match, oh man, if you had your doubts on Valkyria and were like, she's okay, watch this freaking match. Yes, you could say, without Becky, sure. But Lyra was great. So Valkyria took the fight to Lynch, basically right at the jump before the bell even rang. And the ref's just like, oh, they're fighting. Ring that damn bell. Ring that bell. Valkyria took the fight to Lynch early on, and when they were fighting there at the first couple of moments here, she gets Becky, and Becky takes a powder to the outside, and her strap pops. And her strap come down, and she grabs herself, and she's like trying to tie it, and she goes over to Jessica Carr, and she's like, hey, am I getting this? I can't. And everything's fine. No wardrobe malfunction, but that was a close one. That was a close call. Very close call. So then there's a spot where Lyra kind of like does this like basement drop kick dive kind of thing to Becky on the outside, but Becky stops her and catches her. And she's like tied up in the ropes for a second. And then Becky just yanks her by the legs, and Lyra goes, boom, splat, right on the ground. Oh my God, did that look like it hurt. These two had a hard-hitting, aggressive match. I will say that. They brought pain to one another. And not just, oh, they sold very well. No, you could tell that they were bringing it. So we had aggressive Becky Lynch. She had a Beck exploder at one point and got a 2 off of it. Akuria countered with a manhandle slam. Countered with a manhandle slam and actually got a 2 of her own. Lynch then dropped a series of legs, wearing down Valkyria, going after her neck over and over. Lynch then chopped her into the ring, and Cole reminded us Lynch is 0-5 in her last 5 matches. She hasn't won in a while. That was kind of foreshadowing. They're trading punches and bunches and whatnot. Valkyria then picked up the pace and dropped Lynch with the modified driver. Lynch fought back, sending Valkyria into the corner. From there, Lynch landed a spike DDT for another near fall. Lynch then sent Valkyria to the corner and went up top. Valkyria joined her and hit a superplex, followed by a fisherman suplex for a 2. Valkyria then tried a moonsault, but Lynch dodged it. Lynch locked in an armbar and wrenched on it as Valkyria was trying not to tap out, and eventually reversed it into a half crab submission, forcing Lynch to go for the rope break. Valkyria splashed her to the floor, and Lynch tried to get away and recover. There was she tried to hide over by the Spanish announce table. Valkyria followed her over there and laid her out over the barricade. Valkyria then went up on the announce table and dropped a leg on Lynch over the barricade, tossing her back into the ring. Valkyria went up top on the top rope, and Lynch caught her in midair and powerbombed her into a pin attempt. We then started getting some "We Want Truth" chants at this point of the match. Lynch then tried to get the jump on Valkyria, and he hit her with the manhandle slam from the top rope. I thought that was it. I'm like, oh, that's got to be no, Lyra kicks out. Shocked everybody. Gasp in the Intuit Dome. So Lynch took her to the outside and tossed Valkyria into the ring post. Followed this up with the manhandle slam on the concrete. Valkyria wasn't out, though. Hit a Nightwing on Lynch on the floor. The ref starts counting, and at 9, they both scramble back into the ring. The two traded blows and roll-ups, and Lynch kind of, a handful of tights, I guess you would say, and pinned Lyra to retain the match. Or to win the title. Win the title, not retain. Win the title. Becky Lynch, new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. And I got the comments online when I posted the graphic, hey, Becky won. Someone goes, oh, Becky buried Lyra. And I go, what? Like, Becky didn't need that belt. Hold on. I'm just going to pull up the comment here because this is the fucking dumbest comment. Where was it? I think it was on Threads. Let me go back and find it. No, it wasn't Threads. Was it Instagram? This is it. It was on Instagram. It says, this is what you call a burial. Becky can compete for WWE championships, but she has no business holding mid-card gold. That title is to elevate wrestlers to the next level. YTF does she need the belt? And I'm like, no, that's not what's called a burial. That's called you not knowing what the business is. That's called using an established star to build up a new belt. Yes, Lyra did great as the Intercontinental Champion. They didn't do much with her as the Intercontinental Champion. But she was fine. Great as the first champion. Now they're going to have that belt on Becky and give it legitimacy. And to call this match a burial is bullshit. Because this was a complete 50-50 back and forth match. Yeah, Becky won, but Becky had to cheat to win. You can't call that a burial at all. So, to be that short-sighted and dumb to call this a burial means you don't get wrestling. And just watch it. And if you like the match, you like the match. If you don't like the match, you don't like the match. But I'm not trying to tell people what to do and what not to do, but making comments like that, it just tells people you're commenting for comment's sake. You think you're a insider fan, but you really are not. Again, that match was not what you would call a burial whatsoever. Remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating Twitch bits on Twitch and a super chat over on YouTube. We get into talking about that men's Money in the Bank ladder match that went 33 minutes. Yeah, 33 minutes and had a gaggle of different things and men and people jumping in this match. And a very cool expected spot, especially after last night's SmackDown. Not expected for tonight, but expected to eventually happen. Everyone got their entrances and really cool stuff and this, that, and whatnot. They're in the Intuit Dome. And Rollins got attacked early on. Sent to the outside by Penta, Andrade, and Knight, who then, turned their attention to Solo. Basically trying to get rid of the heels first. They did the same to him and sent him to the outside. Americano was next, and Rollins managed to get back into the ring and take out Penta and Andrade. Everyone was down on the outside, and Americano picked up a ladder. And, I think this was a spot where they were fighting in the aisle, and he knocks down Andrade, and then he drops the ladder right on Andrade's balls. Just dropped it right on Andrade's nuts. Oh, that looked like it hurt. So commentary, and then we're also talking about men's nipples. I wasn't really too paying attention to commentary, but I heard them say something about nipples, and I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? Anyways, Penta had Americano in the corner at one point, delivered some stiff chops until Rollins hit him in the stomach with a ladder. Americano threw Rollins onto a ladder, and there was a modified flipping razor's edge that's set up, and then the ladder was set up in the middle of the ring. It was kind of a shorter ladder, so not much really happened with it. Sikoa then got punched in the gut at one point. Knight then sent Sikoa into a ladder and laid him out with some stiff shots. Sikoa did fight back, attempted a Samoan drop on Knight on a ladder, but Knight reversed it and knocked Sikoa out of the ring with an elbow. He then climbed the same short ladder, and Penta joined him. Rollins came in with a bigger ladder, climbed up, and Americano went up after him on the other side. Sikoa then set up a third ladder, which Andrade also climbed. So they're all battling on the top of the ladder, various sizes and whatnot. Penta, Rollins, and Andrade end up falling. Rollins then dumped over Americano's ladder and delivered a pedigree to Penta. Sikoa and Rollins remained up there as the only two standing tall. Sikoa then went for a Samoan spike, but Rollins hit a super kick and knocked him down. Rollins set up a ladder in the corner and launched Sikoa into it with a drop toe hold, followed by a curb stomp. Rollins then grabbed an appropriate sized ladder and set it up in the middle of the ring. Americano climbed up after him and put him in an ankle lock. Rollins then was at the top of the ladder trying to get out of this. Andrade tried to climb up and went over Rollins and hit him with a sunset flip bomb onto Americano. Oh my God, Americano looked like he hit so hard and stiff on the mat when they came over, and he just, boom, holy shit. Also on the other side, Penta flew in, and I think he took Seth down off the ladder. Penta and Andrade then were at the top of the ladder, and Andrade offered Penta a chance to grab the briefcase, seemingly out of respect. Penta, having never seen wrestling before, went to grab the ladder, only to get hit right in the gut by Andrade. No, no, no. No, no, no. When someone just says grab it, they don't mean grab it. They mean I'm going to take you down if you try to grab it. He basically said, not in my house. Andrade set up a ladder bridge to the corner and climbed up on top of it with Penta. Tried to go for a suplex, but Penta blocked it and hit a Mexican destroyer instead on the ladder, wrenching Andrade's neck. Sikoa then leapt into the ring, taking out Penta and mocking him. Instead of, he tried to do like the Cero Miedo. He's like, Cero, me, whatever. So I gave Knight the opening to come in and put Sikoa out of the ring and into the barricade. Knight then set up a ladder bridge between the ring and the barricade, and then threw Sikoa into the steel steps. Knight climbed into the ring, and Penta met him with a destroyer and started climbing the ladder. Americano suplexed him off the ladder and did the same to Rollins, and then Knight, and then Andrade. Rollins charged Americano, but the luchador dodged and sent Rollins into a ladder. Americano then went under the ring and got, his big-ass Fireball-branded ladder that the Creed brothers stashed there earlier in the day. Americano got in the ring and set it up. He climbed it, and so did Penta. Two fought at the top of this big old ladder, like so big that, like, this is the top of the ladder. So pretend the mic's the top of the ladder. It's kind of how close the briefcase was. That pretty damn close. So where was I? Rollins then was up there with Penta. He fell, and Penta was alone at the top of the ladder. Americano scrambled back up, jumped onto a second ladder, climbed on, and headbutted Penta. He had put the steel plate in the mask, so it was a loaded headbutt. Americano then went for the briefcase, but Knight pulled him down. Rollins was then left alone in the ring and climbed the fireball ladder while Heyman urged him on, telling him to go, go, go. Andrade then tried to climb up and went after Rollins, but Rollins pushed him down. Penta arrived, and Andrade pulled Rollins off. Penta and Andrade then fought at the top of the ladder. Sikoa raced up, and Andrade was forced to hang by the briefcase for a moment. Penta then climbed a different ladder, and Rollins called for backup. Out would come Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. He took out Americano, then Knight, then Andrade, then Penta. Breaker speared Knight on the outside of the ring, and Reed hit a tsunami off the top rope onto Andrade. This would then lead to Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo coming down to the ring. Breaker and Reed stood tall in the middle of the ring. And commentary was playing up, oh, we got 4 big-ass monsters coming down to fight. At least 4 did brawl. Mateo got speared through the barricade by Breaker. Fatu had a pop-up Samoan drop, followed by a suicide dive on Reed. And then Fatu, Sikoa back in the ring, set up a ladder, and Solo's like, no, I don't want that one. Jacob grabbed that one. So they can push one ladder over. They go, set another ladder up. Solo goes to climb the ladder. Jacob's standing there like, if anyone comes in here, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And then he grabs Solo by the leg. And Solo's like, Jacob, what are you doing? He's like, and he's trying to go up, but his leg is stuck. Like, Fatu's got him by the leg. And he goes, looks up, he goes, Solo, I hate you. And he pulls him off the ladder, super kicks him, hits him with the moonsault, gets his revenge from Solo last night saying, it's all gas, no brains. And there we go. Fatu slams Solo through the bridge that LA Knight set up earlier, removing him from the rest of the match. Rollins then grabbed another fireball ladder and set it up in the middle of the ring. No one was stirring. No one was doing anything. Rollins then climbed the ladder, almost had the briefcase. LA Knight pulled him down, hit him with the lariat. Knight then scurried up the briefcase. Rollins recovered, got him down, and the two were fighting for a moment before he finally got LA Knight on the ground and hit him with a curb stomp. Rollins climbed the ladder, grabbed the briefcase, and now for the second time in his career, 11 years later, is Mr. Money in the Bank. If you remember, 10 years later. It was 2014. 2014, because he cashed it in 2015. 2014, Seth won Money in the Bank. Had help from Kane, big help from Kane. But Seth won Money in the Bank in 2014, cashed it in at WrestleMania 2015, WrestleMania 31. So we'll see how long Seth holds this belt, or this briefcase this time. Because last time he held it, when was that? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. He held it for like 9 months. So, very good match. Very fun. Even all the interference didn't bother me. Usually I'm a guy that's like, fuck all this interference. Nope, because the kind of match it was, it worked, and we finally got Solos on his own. Jacob's on his own. I don't know if this is the case, but it seems like it's a Jacob babyface turn as well, which the crowd is going to be so for, because he's basically already a babyface. All gas, no brakes. Like that the promos he cuts for the most part, live, coast to coast, post to post, all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's babyface. He's babyface. So, absolutely great match. Very fun. And it was all full of really top stars. Like you could say, Andrade, a top guy. Grande Americano, a top guy. I mean, yes and no. But everyone in this match felt important. As far as like anybody in this match would have won, it wouldn't have felt like in some years where you go, that guy winning would have been a waste. That guy winning would have been a waste. No. I felt like if anybody in this match would have won, it would have been actually good. It was a great lineup and field. Before we get to the main event, I want to get the poll going here on Twitch really fast. What did you think of Money in the Bank? I liked it. It was all right. Like it. Didn't like it. All right. If you are watching live on Twitch, the poll is now live. We got our main event. John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. Before we talk about that, a few announcements were made. As far as Raw does go on Monday, 3 things have been announced. Technically, I think 4, but 3 things. We know that Money in the Bank qualifying matches will kick off this Monday. Not Money in the Bank, King of the Ring. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring matches will kick off this Monday. We don't know if we're getting one of each because they're going to be 4 ways in the first round. We don't know if we're getting a Queen of the Ring 4-way and a King of the Ring 4-way this week or not. We don't know the breakdown of how the brackets are going to work and when. But we also know the World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Jey Uso defends against Gunther. Why did my mind go blank there for a second? Then we also learned that WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella is returning on Monday. We had heard earlier in the day, news, rumors, and reports were going around. I was sent a message saying, hey, Bella may be on Raw Monday in Phoenix. And I was like, oh, interesting. So I just sent out a Nikki gif. So I was like, I haven't had this really confirmed, but someone that usually 80-90% of the time gives me correct information, but it's my only source, so I can only really say I got from one person, and I'm never going to put anything out there from just one person. So I was like, I'll tease it. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's whatever. But I think Nikki's going to be on the show Monday to start building something towards Evolution, because we do have that show in a month. I don't know what Nikki's going to do. I don't know how much Nikki's going to work and wrestle, but cool. Nikki Bella's coming back. She worked the Royal Rumble, and then we haven't seen her since, but she keeps teasing things. She even keeps teasing maybe Brie will come back. I don't know. We'll see. But Nikki Bella will be on Raw Monday in Phoenix. Cool. Now, moving forward, we got John Cena, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. Do the entrances and everything there, whatever. Bell rings. It looks like it's going to be Cody. Cena's starting off, but then Cena tags out. Paul starts off. Paul immediately tags back into Cena, locks up with Cody. Then quickly, Paul tags back in as Cena attempted to ruin tagging because they were just in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. You know what I mean? Rhodes got Paul up in a vertical suplex, stalled him for about 30 seconds. From there, Uso asked for a tag, came right in. Paul met him with a big right hand, knocking Uso off his feet. This allowed him to get a 2 for good measure. Uso came back with a pop-up neck breaker, and sent the dazed Paul into the corner and then yeeted all over him. Paul then fought back with a blockbuster and then got a near fall. Cena then jumped in and rained punches on Uso. Cena sent Uso into the corner and distracted the ref so Paul can get in a few shots, if you know what I mean. Uso reversed the next whip and sent Cena into the corner. He reached for a tag, but Paul got one first and pulled him back into their corner. He then hit him with a gut-wrench slam. Paul dragged Uso into his corner, and Cena and he isolated him from Rhodes. Rhodes then paced around on his side of the ring like, come on, I want in. Cena slowed things down and picked Uso apart. Continued countering things that Uso would try to do. Even begrudgingly did a 5-knuckle shuffle. Uso popped up, though, and put a sleeper on Cena, with Paul way too far away to try to make the tag. So Cena's in the sleeper going, try to tag in, right? So Cena backs him into the corner, squashes him, and tags Paul. Uso still can't get to Uso. No. What, Uso can't get to Uso? No. Uso couldn't get to Rhodes, but then eventually did get to Rhodes. But Paul had a big leg drop on Uso after mugging him in the corner. Paul prevented another tag, isolating Uso away from Rhodes. Cena tagged in eventually and ran over to Rhodes. Cheap shot. The referee trying to calm down Cody, who tried to jump into the ring. Cena and Paul double teamed him, and I'm just like, you're making the fucking champion look kind of weak here. I'm not a fan of what's going on right now. The match wasn't bad, but it's like they made Jay look a little weak at times. Cena went for another cheap shot on Cody. Cody saw this one coming this time and blocked it, sending Cena back into Uso with a punch. Paul then tagged himself back in. Cena didn't like it, so he tagged back in, and the two start fighting for a second, shoving each other. And Paul's like, what was that for? And Cena's like, I'm trying to teach you. And then Logan shoves him back, goes, well, then teach me. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys fighting about? But all this gave Uso a chance to crawl over and get the hot tag to Cody Rhodes. Rhodes then jumped in and cleared house of Cena and Paul. He hit a Cody cutter on Cena and dumped Paul to the floor and hit a suicide dive. Rhodes hit Cena with a big missile drop kick, but on the bounce back, Paul hit Rhodes in the face, giving Cena a chance to hit an AA, almost, to get the pin. Uso broke it up. Rhodes grabbed Cena and landed across Rhodes. Paul went up top for a splash, but missed and hit Cena instead when Cody moved out of the way. Uso then hit a spear on Paul, and everything kind of reset from here as they were all out. Cena and Uso got to their feet and began trading blows. Cena tried to go for an AA, but got super kicked for his trouble. Paul took Cena's place. He and Uso exchanged punches. Rhodes came to the rescue, hammering Paul with some jabs. Paul then hit him in the gut with the bionic elbow and a pulverizer. Instead of going for the cover, though, Paul went to the top and mugged to the drone camera. This was freaking great, the way this was shot. They shot this all with the drone. So Paul calls for the drone. And he gets on the apron, climbs up to the top rope, and he does the hand out thing. And the drone comes and lands on his hand. And Paul's looking at the drone. He's like, yay, yay, yeah. Not looking down at Cody, who was running at him, scales the ropes, goes over there, grabs him in a suplex. And Paul's still like, what's going on? Now he's scared because, he's in a superplex position. He gets superplexed. Arm is still out holding this drone. Lands with the superplex. All of a sudden, here comes Jey Uso, who we don't really see at first, but then we see when he lands it, boom, splash on Paul. Paul drops the drone. It does like a 180 flip. This was freaking cool. The way this was all shot from the drone in Paul's hand, this was cool. All of this, and then no one even goes for a pin. Cena snuck in and hit an AA on Uso, and then went on Rhodes, but Rhodes kicked out of a pin attempt. Cena took Rhodes to the outside and cleared the announce tables. He cleared both tables and put Rhodes on the first one. Cena then put Rhodes up for an AA, but Rhodes wiggled free just in time for Uso to run across the tables and spear Cena. Paul then hit a moonsault from the ring apron onto the table, crushing both of them. Cena and Rhodes then crawled back into the ring. Cena with a championship belt in hand, and the referee checking on them outside went to deck Cody with a belt, but Cody dodged it, and a masked man dressed all in black jumped in the ring. And I'm like, who the hell can this be? Because the guy looks skinny, and I'm like, Travis Scott ain't attacking John. What? Because he looks skinny as Travis Scott when he first slid into the ring. And so this guy gets in there, jumps on Cena, and he's like, bam, 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 bam. Eventually gets off of Cena, and he pulls the hood off, but he's still got the ski mask on. Pulls the ski mask off, and it's goddamn R-Truth. R-Truth is back. Man that was told a week ago, you're fired. Well, not fired, but we're not renewing your contract. Back. We now know that he is going to be going, at least for the interim, by the name of Ron Killings. He is not going to be R-Truth. Now everyone's going to call him R-Truth because no one's going to know he wants to go by that name. I think it's going to be the story of, no, don't call me Truth no more. Truth got me fired. Now I need to get serious and be Ron the Truth Killings. I think that could be the gimmick. That being the happy-go-lucky dumb R-Truth got me fired. If they want to acknowledge it, I could see them going, happy-go-lucky R-Truth got me fired. I need to take things more seriously. I'm Ron the Truth Killings. You know what I mean? I can see it being something like that. I could be completely wrong. But if I'm fantasy booking, that's the way that I would go. Anyways, he then picks up the WWE Championship, knocks Cena out with it. Rhodes then staggers up, hits a crossroads, and pins Cena 1, 2, 3 to pick up the victory. Cody pin the WWE champion. He's not doing that for nothing. Cody pinning the champion was for a reason. So we'll see what that leads to. But Cody and Jay stood tall. Cody then grabbed a microphone afterwards, cut a little promo just about Jay defending the title on Monday against Gunther, and he's happy that they won, and he's gonna be watching and hopes that his boy retains the belt. So really cool, really great, really awesome. And I think I mentioned it earlier. Triple H was asked about truth. He's like, he gets there into the press conference and sits down and goes, "All right, about this. I know you guys are gonna ask about truth, but I'll just wait for you to get a question so I can answer specifically what you have to ask." So eventually someone goes, "So we saw the return of R-Truth tonight." I don't remember who it was, so I apologize who asked the question, but he said, "So we saw the return of R-Truth tonight. Is it really true that R-Truth at one point was told that he is not being retained by the company and that he was actually gone?" And Triple H just kind of laughs. He goes, "That's your question? Did you enjoy the show? It's part of the show." So again, I think Triple H is trying to play it up of, I don't want to say that it was real, but we're turning it into a shoot now. So it's a work shoot. And there we go. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was Money in the Bank. I thought a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. A 5-hour show. Not 5-hour show. What am I saying? The 5-match show that went, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. Like 3.5 hours. Not bad at all. With that, you know what I thought of the show. I enjoyed the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of WWE Money in the Bank as we go and refresh all the polls. Let's do this here. Bada bing, bada boom. How you doing? As far as the threads poll does go, it'll reload. 58% liked the show, 28% thought it was just all right, and 14% didn't like it. Here's better numbers. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 78% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community tab, 84% liked the show, 13% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. Some of the comments, one called it amazing. One said, "Can't believe R-Truth Ron Killings is back." This person says it was predictable. The only good match. Wait. I be honest was okay, I can't even read this. My dyslexia is gonna go all kinds of haywire. Nope. And then the person, I didn't watch. No, I don't care. We're not asking did you watch or not. The poll is not who watched, who didn't. It's you watched the show, what'd you think? Should I reword my polls to say if you watched Money in the Bank, what did you think? Not just what did you think of Money in the Bank? Like I thought it was obvious. I didn't watch stuff. Anyways. The live poll, 77% liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, 7% didn't like it. And on Twitch, everybody that voted, only got a couple votes there, everybody that voted liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we will be back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw with the big world title match in Phoenix, Arizona. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Excuse me. If you're still watching on Twitch, we're going to send you to... Fran Mirabella III. It was like he's just starting. Who's playing some of that Night Rain. Elden Ring Night Rain. Go over there with FM3_. Have a great time.